We know the 9 playoff scenarios. They win, they're in. They lose, and the Saints win, they're out. They both lose, the Niners are in. And it depends on Philly where they land. But let's focus on what the Niners have facing them. The Rams. I think Niner fans have looked at this the last few weeks as, well, they're going to win this game because they always beat their 5 in a row. And that's true. They beat them with Nick Mullins, Jimmy Garoppolo. But it's the Rams. It's tough. They're good. They have a better record than the Niners. How tough is this game? And I don't know. You don't have to pick a winner, but what's the likelihood the Niners miss the playoffs here?
I don't think they're gonna miss it. I just have this feeling that they're gonna beat the Rams. Although I don't like the situation of having to face a team that is better than you, but they've lost 5 straight to you, and it's also a must-win game for them. That
Real quick,
usually,
sorry, the Saints are playing the Falcons, and we both
yeah,
expect the Saints to win that game.
yes, I do
Yeah.
expect them to win.
Yeah.
Yes,
So this is why it's probably the Niners going to have to take care of business here.
yes,
Yeah,
100%.
it's
And
a rough
so
spot to be in.
I don't like it because of that, right? The 5 wins in a row, especially with one of those being at home against Nick Mullins, that's kind of brutal. But yeah, so I don't like that situation. But I just look at the way these two teams have matched up, and then I saw the way they matched up earlier this year. And at this point, I don't have faith that McVay has the schematic answers against the Niners, and that's really what these matchups have come down to. The Niners just own the Rams from a schematic perspective. McVay's offense, they're all over all of it. They're all over
Yeah.
the run game. They're all
Yeah.
over the play action pass game. They're all over the drop back pass game. And in fact, I don't think McVay has been that brilliant schematically this year. A lot of their games to me have been a product of people don't like when I compliment him, but if you go look at the way they played football, especially the first 10 to 12 games of this year, the Rams were 8-3 because Matthew Stafford was playing at an unbelievably high level, and
Also
his
Cooper
level has
Kupp.
gone down.
Also Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp
Yeah.
is obviously
Yeah.
amazing. It was really
Yeah.
those two, but it felt like offensively, it was just put him in empty, drop him back, have run, the same 5, 6, 7 concepts, and
Yeah.
he's so good, he's going to continue to make plays.
Yeah.
And they've had to get away from that because he hasn't been playing as well later in the season. He's been a little hot and cold throughout the season. But I think overall, from that perspective, like people say, oh, they would have the same record with Goff. If they played offense the same way they played with Stafford throughout this season with Goff, they would be a 4-11 football team, 4-12 football team. They wouldn't be very good because their defense also struggled for a lot of this year, and they're finally putting it together. Their defense is very good now. So
you think the defense is going to win this game for the Niners, or can?
Yes, I do.
To me, I think the offense is going to have to win the game for the Niners. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm a little concerned about what the Niners defense is going to do. I hear you say it's the schematic edge, but first of all, we're going to talk about Bosa. Where is he? And I still have questions about Ambry Thomas, although he's had two good games in a row.
So I agree with you to an extent, but I just look at the Niners offense and I say, when you have Deebo Samuel and George Kittle,
true,
you're going to get some explosive plays from the two of them throughout a game that's going to get you points. If you
also,
can
you
take
have
care of the
Mitchell,
football,
you can control the game. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you can take care of the football, if you could take care of the football, Kyle Shanahan can scheme up a few things. You can play a clean game on offense. I just don't understand why they couldn't win this game and just control their destiny and be into the playoffs. But I don't like the scenario. I think the Niners being in this situation is actually more of a product of them not taking care of business earlier in the season. I think we're going to talk about this a bit later. And I think the biggest frustration to me would be anybody blaming anyone who plays poorly against the Rams is the reason the Niners don't make the playoffs. Because if they lose against the Rams, from just a technical perspective, technically that's why they didn't make the playoffs, right? They lost to the Rams and the Saints won. But if you look at the overall macro perspective, to me, there are other games where they played poorly that are the reason why they're in this situation, and they shouldn't be.